There you go. You're good now.
Okay. All right. So this is the Stemless Face Off podcast, the military episodes. We are here with.
I am Staff Sergeant Viguera, and I'm a United States Marine.
How old are you?
I am 30 years old.
30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I am Brynn, the co host of Stemless Face Off. So, what branch are you in and what's your rank?
So I enlisted in the United States Marine Corps about 9 years ago. I currently hold the rank of Staff Sergeant, which is pay grade of E6.
All right. And how many years have you been in the United States Marines?
For about a little bit over 9 years, since May of 2014 to be exactly.
Okay. And how are the Marines different from other branches?
That is a great question, right? As a whole, the military has one purpose, right? And we all swore to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all foreign and domestic, right? But the Marine Corps, we have evolved to become a quick reaction force, right? To help as soon as possible and when needed. For example, when you're in distress, what's the first number you call on your phone?
911.
911, right? That is who we are. We are the United States 911. When something happens across the globe, whether violent or non-violent, let's say a natural disaster happens, earthquake, hurricane, we have the capability to be there within 24 hours and render aid to allied nations or any nation that needs help, right? Now, if it's operational, a conflict happens, that is the beauty of the Marine Corps. We have set standards for ourselves to be ready when the nation's least ready. Because at the end of the day, not everybody belongs in our ranks, but those that do belong.
Nice response. All right. And what is your current MOS? And have you done anything else other than your current MOS?
That's a good question. My current MOS is 8411, which is Marine Recruiter. My primary MOS is 0811, Field Artillery Cannoneer. I also hold the MOS of 0916, which is Martial Arts Instructor. In the Marine Corps, we're surprisingly the only branch that has a program dedicated strictly to martial arts. That way, remember how I was saying to stay ready? We have to make sure our Marines are as ready as possible to, be able to defend themselves, and we train in close quarter and hand-to-hand combat.
So you can fight.
Something like that.
All right. And what is all entailed with artillery? Like training, job school, your fellow Marines?
Artillery is fun. It's very fun. If you like loud noises and just blowing things up for a living, like everybody loves fireworks, right? I think artillery is it's your calling. Now it all starts in Fort Sill, Oklahoma, right? For about 5 weeks, you go to Fort Sill, Oklahoma. It's an army base. You learn the basics of artillery, so the chemistry of explosives, fuse round combinations. You also learn the parts of the M777 Alpha 2 howitzer, right? Both the Army and the Marine Corps have these pieces, and we all get the just the basics of it. For those next 5 weeks, you learn nomenclatures, you learn how to operate it, how to maintain it, and how to employ it in future operations. You also get the opportunity to learn about the HIMARS system, which is a high mobility artillery rocket system, right? They both have somewhat of the same goal, but they all have their pros and cons. You'd have to sit down and we could go about this all day, right? But the main purpose is it is artillery. They both serve the same purpose, and in about 5 weeks, you will be very familiarized at a basic level with that. Once you're done with your school for about 5 weeks, you could get stationed in either Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, California, Camp Pendleton, or 29 Palms in California, right? We used to have a base in Hawaii, but it disbanded early this year in order to accommodate with the Commandant's new plan for the future, right? So we no longer have an artillery base, artillery unit over there in Hawaii. And the training is it's continuous. It's like chow in the military. You say chow is continuous. You just eat whenever you can. We're constantly training, right? We familiarize ourselves with weapon systems such as 50 caliber machine guns or Mark 19s, grenade launchers with sidearms pistols, M240 Bravos, right? We learn everything that we have to do in order to be ahead of the game, right? We're provisional infantry as well. So we not only do artillery stuff. If the infantry needs help, we're out there to help them out, because at the end of the day, here's the mission of the Marine Artillery, right? It's to provide close and continuous fire support by suppressing, neutralizing, or destroying targets that may threaten the success of the main effort, which is the infantry. Shout out to infantrymen. You know what I'm saying? So it's very fun. And like I said, you have the ability to do other things like become a martial arts instructor, a swim instructor, McQuiz. You could become a coach, a marksmanship instructor. We can do all that in artillery and some, right? Which allows us to be a jack of all trades. And we're really good at what we do. We've been doing it for the past 247 years. So, yeah, hopefully that doesn't change. It's not going to change. I don't think so. As long as us senior guys pass down that knowledge, we will be successful.
And what were the fellow Marines like in that field?
Oh man, it's awesome. The bond you build with those guys, that is what's so awesome about the military, right? And this applies to all branches. The relationship you build with those guys, they become your second family. Like, these are the guys you will cry with, you will have a few refreshments with, right? You will have joy. You will go to the beach. You'll meet their family. Their kids will call you uncle. It's awesome, right? So the brothers and sisters you never have, congratulations. Now you have like thousands of them, right? And those guys will literally take a bullet for you, and you will 100% step in front of harm's way for them. So it's a bond that's never broken. And I'm in the Marine Corps, so I have seen that firsthand. And I'm telling you right now, if I pick up my phone and I call my buddy that I haven't seen him since probably 4 years ago, he will probably cry like, "Hey man, it's not like the friends that we have here in the civilian world, the civilian sector, that they're not gonna pick up because they're busy playing video games or whatever. That's not the kind of brotherhood that we have in the Marine Corps or the military as a whole. You're welcome to a family, right? And you develop that family as it goes.
That's nice. What are the physical standards like in the Marine Corps?
The physical standards are, every branch has physical standards, right? But there's a certain height and weight requirement that you have to be on a yearly basis. You will get height and weighted. That way, that is us verifying that you are doing what you're supposed to do. You're working out. You're staying fit. You're staying healthy, right? Extremely important. Now, when it comes to physical fitness standard, I don't know if that's something you wanted to dabble in. There's 2 tests that we'll do every year. Is the physical fitness test, and then you got the combat fitness test. The physical fitness test comprises of a max set of pull-ups. It's not timed. You hang up there, and it's a full range of motion pull-up, right? You can either do chin-ups or pull-ups, whatever you want. Do as many as you can. Minimum, the average Marine can probably give you between 10 to 15 push-ups. The average female Marine can probably give you between 4 to 6 perhaps, right? I haven't statistically looked at the numbers like that, but from what I've seen, that's kind of what I can tell you, right? There's the pull-ups, then you got a plank. For 100 points, you have to hold that plank for 3 minutes and 45 seconds, right? Sounds easy. It's not, I promise. It's a lot harder to do than
I'm
you think.
shaking it too.
Yep. So, but it's all mental, right? That's the trick. It's all mental. Forget about it. Start singing Baby Shark in your head, and you'll be fine, right? That's how it goes. Because that's what I do. But then you got the 3-mile run, right? The 3-mile run. You know what the trick to do it? The best way to do it? You just do it. That's literally it. Just run. The only way to get better at running is by running.
Yeah.
Obviously, proper stretching. Look at your mechanics. Look at long distance runners. Look what they look like. They look skinny. They look very skinny, right? That's because they don't have a lot of weight holding them back. Maybe you should work on your weight loss, right? If you really want to be a long distance runner, just lose some weight and you'll be good. But you have to practice. You have to run every day. You have to run every day in order to get better. So 3-mile run. If you run in less than 18 minutes, you'll get 100 points. Now you cannot go over, depending on gender, right? Male or female. I think for males, Depends on age as well. But if you're 17 to 20 years old, you have to run that 3 miles in less than 28 minutes and 30 seconds, I believe. And then for females, I believe it's 30 minutes and 30 seconds or 29 minutes and 30 seconds. These numbers vary, right? Reason why I don't know them specifically, because as Marines, we're not looking for the bare minimum. We're going for like, yo, how can I get max points on this? 18 minutes. Everybody's chasing that 18-minute, right? 10 seconds after 18 minutes, that's a point that you lose. 18:01 hits, congrats, you cannot get perfect score no more. People lose their minds like, man, what? I should have ran 3 seconds faster. It happens. We all strive for perfection. So 3-mile run, max set of pull-ups, plank. Max that out, you're good to go. Helps you with meritorious promotions as well. All right, we want you to be fit. Then the other one is the combat fitness test. This one is more simulated towards a combat scenario environment. You have a overhead press with an ammunition can, right, for 5.56, and it's 35 pounds. That is the average weight, and you'll just do a full-blown extension where your elbows will lock out, full range, as many as you can. The average Marine can give you about 100 something reps, right? That's average. That's normal. Then you got an 800-meter shuttle run. The tricky part behind this is that if you put some sneakers on and you do 2 laps, it might be easy, right? Maybe. But we got to do this in boots and pants, and it's obnoxious. But we work out so often that we don't really think about it. They just another run. The average Marine would run this in between 2 minutes and 45 seconds to 2 minutes and 50 seconds. So it's very quick, right? You just run for your life. 2 laps, right? 880 yards equals to 800 meters. That's what you're looking for. And the last event is the maneuver under fire. This is simulating that you're in a combat scenario, right? You start off from like face down, belly in the ground, just ready to get up. Once the instructor that's leading it, he tells you go, or he'll start as soon as you get up, right? You get up, you run for about 75 yards, you take off. This is in boots, pants, and your blouse, your MARPA utility, your combat blouses, right? So you gone 75 yards, you do a little J hook, you drop down, and now you're low crawling, right? You're simulating that there's, hell is happening up there, so you're just like, for about 25 yards, right? For 25 yards, you're low crawling. Once you get to the next cone, you get up. The only things that are making contact with the ground is going to be your feet, the tip of your toes or your feet, your knees, and your hands. Now you're high crawling. High crawl. Once you get to the cone, you're going to get up, and you're going to run zigzag. You're sprinting. Zigzag. It's like a combine. You're literally doing a combine. Remember, we're paid athletes, right? So move. It's like 4 cones. Once you reach here, your buddy that should weigh somewhere around the same weight that you have to make it realistic, you're going to pick him up. You're going to drag him, right? And it's called a buddy carry. So you're dragging him. You're going to turn to the cone that's on the left. Once you reach that cone, you're going to pick him up with executing a fireman's carry. So there's a proper technique to it, right? You can't just like slouch over your boy and then you're going to be everywhere wobbly. We're really good at what we do, so we literally practice this before we do the event. That way everybody's on the same page. So once you pick him up, you grab the hand, and now you're sprinting. You're taking off for about easily 90 yards, 85 yards. You're running down. You drop him off. All this has happened, right? You drop him off. You're going to pick up 2 ammo cans that are 35 pounds each, and now you're running. At this point, you're so exhausted, but it's only been a minute of your life, but you've done so much already, so you're dying. You're like, oh my god, how am I gonna do this? But the mentality is not, I'm gonna quit right now. Your body can do so much more than what you think you're capable of. It's amazing, right? So it's all the mindset, right? So you rather, you're like, ain't no way I'm gonna look weak in front of all these people. I'm the top dog out here, right? So you're just taking off and you're running. Right, you're looking like a maniac running around with saliva everywhere. That's fine, right? You're running. Then you gotta do the zigzag. Go left, right. You drop down the ammo cans. You're gonna pick up a grenade. It's a dummy grenade. It's not live. That'll be extremely dangerous. You drop it. It's about 25 yards out. You hit the target. You get extra points. So you drop down, do a few push-ups, get back up, grab those ammo cans. go back down the zigzag. Left, right. Once you turn that cone, that you got 75 yards left to go, you are running for your life because that is the last thing you got to do for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's hard. There's no better way to start your Monday than a CFT because your day cannot get any worse, right? So you do a CFT, you're like, I conquer the world. You might as well call me Genghis Khan Jr. or something, right? So you do that CFT, and I'm telling you, like, every Marine averages close to a max score on this because this is actually legit simulated, you know, like a full-blown workout. That is a fitness test, a combat fitness test, right? So it's awesome. We love it, right? The physical fitness test, is a slight difference between both is the physical fitness test is more geared towards your endurance, right? As you should, because you're not, it's a 50-50, our physical fitness and our standards as Marines. But power lifters, they don't have a six-pack. They're just big dudes, right? They lift 1,000 pounds, but they don't have a six-pack. We have to be right in the middle. We have to be strong, but we also have to be mean and lean. That's why the 3 miles is part of it. The plank is part of it. And, you know, the pull-ups is part of it. So appearance as uniform is extremely important to us, right? If you look good, you feel good. And perception is reality. If you look good, that lets me know that, hey, you probably work out, right? So, granted, not everybody's built the same, but Marines are definitely built different. So,
for sure. All right, what's next? All right, can Poolees choose the job they want?
yes and no. Let's say, for example, you graduated high school, right? Now you want to go to boot camp next month. Sir, I'm ready to do this. Ship me out next month. I want to be infantry. Now you're just throwing an ultimatum at me. I'm like, all right, let me see what I can do. Now you're in my program. Now I got to look at what's available next month, right? What if infantry is not available? Now you have to ship whenever infantry is available. And this is for all the branches, right? This is not just a Marine Corps thing. Hence why you see recruiters in high schools talking to the seniors, right? Because you have the ability to enter the delayed entry program as early as May of the end of your junior year. You enlist in May, you become part of the program called Fort Tenor, right? You have 410 days before you go to boot camp to pick your job before everybody else, right? You have first dibs, and you also get to train with us, and you allow us to mentor you and coach you the right way. That way you're ready for the rigors of recruit training. So to answer your question, yes, you can, but make sure you get in first. That way you pick it first, right? Don't wait until last minute. A lot of kids wait till graduate because mom and dad doesn't want them to join, or they wait until they're 18, and we understand that. But understand that everything is subjective, and if you wait until last minute, it might not be available to you.
And that's why they give you the 3 pick option, basically.
Correct, right? These jobs come and go like this because you're not the only one trying to be a Marine, right? We got hundreds and hundreds of kids just enlist today, they're ready to leave tomorrow. So infantry might be available today, but you haven't gone to MEPS. You go to MEPS tomorrow, you enlist, guess what's gone? Infantry. You know what I'm saying? So it's just talk to the recruiter. Don't be scared to talk to the recruiter as soon as that idea of, I'm thinking of serving. You know what I'm saying? Talk to the recruiter, get the information. If something you want to do not waste any time. Because at the end of the day, nobody can force you to go to boot camp, but get the information you can, plan it out. That recruiter will sit down and create that solid plan for you. That way, that ship date is there for you, and you go with the job that you're looking for, the program, right?
Yeah. What are some of your best and worst experiences in the Marine Corps?
It's a really good question. My best experience, 100% hands down, the relationships that I've built. All those guys that I grew up with in the Marine Corps, those guys that I trained, right? I have yet to find, because I make friends everywhere I go, right? I meet teachers, I meet counselors, I like to say hi to everybody I meet, but I have yet to develop a relationship that's similar to the bond that I built with those guys that serve to the left and right of me, right? Because I'm able to influence their lives for the better. They are able to influence my life, and they make me happier, right? Whenever I need somebody to lean on, that's my go-to guy. And it's not just that guy. It's that guy, that girl, that woman, you know. So I think it's the relationships that I build and the the times that I've spent with them, hands down the best experiences I ever had. Deployments and all that.
That's nice. And worst experiences?
Worst experiences, too many to mention, but the worst one was leaving them, right? In the military, you don't stay stagnant, right? The government wants you to be as valuable as possible, right? That he wants you to be a jack of all trades. They want you to be smart. If you want to go to college, this and that, you want to be an instructor. In the Marine Corps, every 3 to 4 years, you will go to a new unit. You will do something else. I became a recruiter. For all these years, those guys that I worked with, I had to say, see you later. I'll be back in 3 years. So that, it puts a strain on you, but it's for the better, right? It's for the better because you have to go on to bigger, better things. And this is what the Marine Corps needs me to do. And as Marines, we have a really good sense of discipline, right? Discipline is the instant willing obedience to all orders, respect for authority, self-reliance, and teamwork, right? I did right by those guys. I taught them everything I could. I mentored them. We built that relationship. That relationship is not going away anytime soon. So even though it hurts right now, I'll be back in 3 years, So that's kind of like the worst experience I've had, just saying bye to those guys.
As a recruiter, can you explain the process from start to finish?
In simplicity, this is how easy it could be. All you have to do, find a recruiter. Find a recruiter. The easiest way to do this is go on Marines.com, scroll down, request more information. We literally get a message, a notification with your name and phone number, and we will call you as soon as possible, right? Because some schools don't allow us to be walking around, right? Some schools are private, they're not government funded, so we're not authorized to be in there. But God knows what young, motivated individual wants to, look into the military, right? And we don't have access to him. All they have to do is go online, request that information. That recruiter will give you a call. He will ask you why is it that you're looking in the Marine Corps, what about the Marine Corps caught your attention, why not other branches. That way he has a full understanding of what is it that you're looking for, and he will dictate, okay, I can see how the Marine Corps can help you achieve those goals in life. So what will happen after that, he will run you through some basic screening questions. There might be personal questions there just because he has to know how much you weigh, how tall are you, right? We have to know. Once you're fully basically qualified, you guys will coordinate like a time to come in for an interview. Every job you try to get, you have to have an interview. You can't just go over there and become the manager of Publix, right? You have to have an interview with somebody. So you sit down, you have that interview, and upon getting a main idea of, yes, this is something I want to do, that recruiter will state a few steps that are followed with. For example, getting vital documents such as your birth certificate, social security card, and proof of education. If you're a high school grad, high school diploma is good, or alternatives of that, right? GED, depends. Talk to the recruiter, he'll let you know. But why do we need a birth certificate and a social security card? That's probably locked up in mom's, safe box with 24 different combinations. We need that because we are a federal entity, and we need to prove that you are who you say you are through your birth certificate, and we need to verify your federal employment capabilities through your social security card. Once we have those, we will basically create a profile for you in our system. Once we create that profile, we will introduce you to what it's called the DD Form 2807, right? It's a medical screening form, and it will ask you everything about your medical record, or if you ever had any surgeries, if you ever taking any medications, do you currently taking any medications, allergies. So kind of like the same questions you were asked before, like the pre-screening, there's more screening. Why do we do that? Why do we hamper so much on screening? Because the last thing we want to do is waste your time. Don't try to play the government and I had asthma when I was a little kid. Probably should have mentioned that. Be as honest as you can with the recruiter, because ultimately he's the one that's going to help you get either a waiver or everything you need in order to go to MEPS once and once only for the time being. Plenty of times I see kids going back to MEPS because they failed to disclose something, and now we gotta go talk to mom and try to explain how did he get a scar from here to here on his lower back. I'm not gonna have you take your shirt off at my office, right? So I'm counting on you to be honest and transparent with me about that. Once you have all that, you complete the medical screener. We project you, right? We ask you, hey, so Tuesday, next week, maybe Wednesday, what is a good time for you to go take your ASVAB? The ASVAB is basically a placement test. It's like a SAT, but it encompasses math, English, arithmetic, reasoning, paragraph comprehension, science, electricity, mechanics, shop. It will tell you what you're good at, right? What your knowledge is mostly, right? We're gonna utilize that ASVAB score to show you all the jobs you qualify for, right? So once you take your test, awesome. Next step is go to MEPS, right? You can still take your test on MEPS, but some locations we're able to, a remote location to take your ASVAB. Once you go to MEPS to do your full physical, you are found physically qualified and medically qualified. Congratulations, right? You come back to our office. The recruiter is gonna welcome you aboard, talk to you about the expectations that you have as a future Marine, right? What you can do to get promoted and things like that. And that is when you sit down with him, and he inputs your scores on the program calculator, and then you will talk about jobs, right?
Yeah.
In accordance to when you're supposed to go to boot camp.
Okay.
And after that, you're basically part of the late entry program. You have officially enlisted, but it doesn't stop there, because I'm sure you like more money, right? Everybody likes more money. There's many ways to get promoted. There's 3 ways actually, might be more, but as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe somebody here knows more, right? College credits. If you have 15 college credits, congratulations. You provide me with those transcripts. You automatically rate E2, which is private first class in the Marine Corps, right? You will go to boot camp as a E2. Second way is JROTC. If your school had a JROTC program, whether Marine Corps, Air Force, Navy, so on and so forth, you provide me with that certificate, or if you're a high school student, your transcripts will show, right? But the certificate is usually the best proof. And the last one, which is the most commonly used ones. I had a lot of friends when I enlisted, right? So when I decided to, man, I want to serve my country, I want to be a better person, I showed up, I did the whole enlistment process. Awesome. My recruiter's like, hey, right now you're a private. You're going as a private. And I'm like, yes, sir, I know. And he's like, well, would you like to be a private first class? And I'm like, well, absolutely. I said, more responsibility, more money. And he's like, there's many ways you can do that, right? Here's the last way, referral program. Whether you believe it or not, some of your friends have thought about the military, but they just too prideful to put the military in their plans for some reason, right? Most of them end up going to a recruiting office years from now anyways, right? So I think it's in your best interest and his best interest to talk about that. Hey, I already went through the process. It's not that bad. Now, you sure you don't want to talk to the recruiter? All you're doing is get information. You don't have to sign anything. Just talk to him, see what he's got to offer. Once that individual, yay or nay, decides that the Marine Corps is something that could be useful to him, they go through the process. If you get 2 referrals, you automatically have a promotion, and the train goes on. They bring 2 referrals, they get promoted. They bring 2 referrals. And here's the benefit behind that: like-minded individuals, aka your friends, your group of people. Guess what? Now y'all doing the same thing, and that bond that you have right now, it's gonna carry for the rest of your life. Literally, when I enlisted, I brought in my cousin, his brother, my friend from church, my other friend from high school. Like, it was like 5 of us. And I didn't think any bigger than that. I'm like, I'm just trying to get promoted. What I didn't realize is that I was solidifying a lifelong bond. Some of these guys are officers, they're pilots, they're captains. And some of these guys did their 4 years, got out, now they're successful. Some of these guys are still in it. And it's like, wow, I still talk to these dudes every day. While I haven't spoken with some of my high school friends since I graduated high school. They're still doing the same exact thing 9 years ago. So it's quite sad, but you can only help so many. And I didn't preach the word as much as I should have, but now that I'm in a position where I know exactly what it could do for you, for him, and for everybody, I try to explain this process. Like, talk to your friends. They have nothing to lose. But in the future, they will have lost everything. If that makes sense.
That does make sense. I also wanted to say that the new regulations came out for the new jobs or whatever. And Sergeant Mendez had me change all my jobs because he's like, all these new jobs came out. I think you're going to want to relook them.
Absolutely.
So I ended up picking photography and multimedia, firefighter, aircraft rescue, and then admin for my third pick.
Okay, absolutely. So firefighter was one of those fields where you get the job, but in accordance with your qualifications, you might end up straying away from that and doing a little bit of meteorology and still in the firefighting field, but you're not in front of the fire. You're taking care of the firefighter. You're kind of looking at the meteorology, and you learn a little more of a different side of the house. Now they officially separated those two entities, and now it's you want to be a firefighter, you can be a firefighter, right? So I know there's a lot of kids out there that want to be firefighters. Congratulations, I can give you 4 years worth of experience, certifications that you can come out and automatically get literally your application to the fire academy. It's gonna go like this. Okay, boop, you're right up there with everybody else that graduated fire academy for the past 2 years that are volunteers. You don't have to be a volunteer because why? You have 4 years worth of experience, live hands-on experience. These guys are volunteering, trying to get the experience. You just got that, and you got paid for 4 years. Now you got benefits. Like, listen, it falls off the tree. Like, it's talk to the recruiter. That's all I'm gonna say. Which, good job on you. You've been doing. But that's awesome. Yes, you are absolutely correct. New jobs have come out.
Okay. Could you explain what basic training was like for you?
For me personally.
In general, and for you, your hands-on experiences.
Okay. I cannot tell you how basic training is right now because I went 9 years ago, right? It's like asking a World War I, World War II veteran, like, hey, how was boot camp? Whatever he tells me, I'm just going to be mind blown because he has nothing of what I went through, right? So, realistically speaking, I cannot give you details on how basic training is now. But what you could do, if you go to YouTube right now, this is the beauty of the internet nowadays. Everything is there. Everything. You want to learn why your toe curls to the left on your left foot? It's on the internet probably, in YouTube. Some guy's explaining it, right? So you go to YouTube, you look up Marine Corps recruit training, basic training. It's right there. It gives you, there's documentaries, there's everything, the gas chamber, things that I never knew could be televised. Oh, they got it out there, right? It's not a secret anymore. When I joined, I have no idea what I was going to go up against. But I just wanted to be a United States Marine. There was nothing you could put in front of me that was going to stop me from doing that, right? Now, you guys get the chance of like, oh, I'm going to do that. I should probably go swim a little more. Oh, I should probably get OC sprayed and see what it feels like, right? You're not going to get OC sprayed. It's just gas. It's not even that bad. It's like itchy, right? Some people freak out about that. But I'll tell you how my experience went. Boot camp for me was tough, right? I thought I was a stud. I was a jock in high school. I played all kinds of sport. I was never just stagnant. I did baseball, football, track and field. I did basketball. I was always doing things, right? After practice, guess what I did? I went to the park and played until 9 p.m., right? And this is common. Like, if you're an athlete, this is common for you. Like, nobody told me otherwise, right? Yeah. I was slim. I was the best shape of my life. Like, my six pack was, I was there. I was that guy, right? So when I joined, I'm like, hey, it can't be that bad, right? I met guys that will run circles around me. Regardless, I ran a really good time on my 3 mile in boot camp. I ran like 18 something. That's like almost perfect, right? Actually, did I run like a 17:42? I don't remember. It's been 9 years, right? I was doing 20 pull-ups. I was at the time was crunches, right? You had to do crunches in 2 minutes. Nowadays, you do a plank. But the fact that you're meeting like-minded individuals, everybody's a stud in boot camp, right? And if you're not a stud, guess what? You're gonna become a stud because the training is that much more intense, right? Remember we talked about a little bit of standards. They want you to be up there. They're just running. Tie your shoes, hurry up, put your pants on, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I was just there like this. Oh my God, where did I get my myself into, right? I have a huge sense of humor. In boot camp, I got in trouble a lot because I would see somebody slip and fall, and I'm just cracking up. Drill instructor automatically saw me. Sergeant Prayer, yeah, great guy, right? I've never seen anybody that likes their drill instructor just due to the fact that they train them so hard. To this day, it's been 9 years. I still remember each and every single one of them. And I'm not gonna say I hate them, but I do have a lot of respect for them. But maybe in the future, if hopefully I get to shake their hands. But they did put me through a lot, but it was for the better, right? It was a life changing experience. I loved it. I wouldn't do it again, but I'm glad I did because it's tough, right? It's tough for a reason. It changes you. It makes you a better person. I've seen kids. I've seen the transformation. I've seen kids go to basic training. I always have respect for you. I would treat you as you would treat me. Like it's an automatic respect, right? Because we know what's valuable to us, right? We know that you are just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like I'm talking about the relationship that I build with these guys. Everybody knows that we're there for a reason, and that is to be the best version of ourselves. And in boot camp, you suffer, you cry, you laugh, you smile, you do all that. And once you graduate, you cry. I've only cried like 5 times in my life. Twice when my son and my daughter was born. The third time when I stubbed my pinky toe on the table. The fourth time was, I think, when I was eating something sour. And then the fifth time was in boot camp when I graduated. When I got my Eagle glove and anchor. Oh man, I almost like buckled and everything. My dream instructor, he probably thought I was a little weak or something, but I wasn't. I was just overwhelmed with emotion. It was a huge point in my life. It was August 22nd of 2014. It was 9 something in the morning. I had a watch, but you're like this. You're just getting your shit, your Eagle glove and anchor. So you're just like crying your eyes out, like, what? Right? So it's awesome, and it's an experience like no other. And the good thing about boot camp graduation is you can invite as many people as you want. There's no limit to the amount of people that you can take over there. So
it's a big celebration.
Oh, it's a huge celebration. But I'm gonna tell you right now, once you graduate, you're gonna turn around, and you're probably not gonna be back there until you either become a drill instructor or somebody else that of your friends graduates, because you will have started your career.
That's so nice. I'm so excited.
You're gonna be fine. You're gonna do just fine.
All right. Some of these we already kind of covered.
Maybe you can elaborate a little more if you like.
How often are service members promoted?
The promotion system is structured in a way that is 100% doable, but the reward system is also in place. There's always going to be individuals that are better than the next guy, and that are always hungry to assume bigger responsibilities. And I want to be y'all's boss, because nobody here knows what they're doing. I want to take that spot, but he just doesn't have the rank yet, right? As a superior, I'm going to be like, okay, I can put you in what is called a meritorious promotion board, right? So at its simplicity, you just do time and service. 9 months after that, you'll become a lance corporal. Those 2 ranks can easily be attained meritoriously by the referral program, or, well, prior first class is through JRTC, like we talked about before, right? JRTC, college credits, or the referral program. Lance corporal, that one you can gain while you're already in the fleet, or by graduating undergrad in boot camp, by graduating top of your class in your schoolhouse for whatever job it is. You could get a meritorious promotion like that easily. If you prove that you're better than those around you, you will be rewarded. The Marine Corps wants you to be the best version of yourself, and if you prove yourself worthy, you will take it, right? It's going to be up there for you for grabs. Now, as your career progresses, getting promoted to corporal, that's a non-commissioned officer in the Marine Corps. That's a big deal, right? The nickname of corporals is the backbone of the Marine Corps. Those are the guys that literally hold the institution together at the lowest level, because they're the guys getting all the information from the sergeants, staff sergeants, and above. They're disseminating all that, making it work, and passing down the information. It's like a flow, right? And these are the guys managing the lance corporals, the PFCs, and the privates. Like, you gotta do this at this time, be over there, blah blah. And there's so much going on. It's such a critical point in your career because once you're a corporal, you've probably been in for about 2 and some change years, right? You either have the opportunity to enlist or get out. But meritorious promotions, right? To corporal, just be as fit as you can. Do book reports, do your Marine Net courses. You'll learn about that in the future. And overall, belt ranking system. Remember how I talked about Marine Corps martial arts? There's 5 belts that you can attain: gray, green, tan, gray, green, brown, and black. First degree black belt, right? These belts, the higher the belt, the harder it is to get. But as a lance corporal, as an E3, you can only go up to green, all right, per the Marine Corps order. If you have a green belt, you're a lance corporal. You're super fit. You do your book report. You went to lance corporal leadership and ethics school. You could be put on a meritorious promotion if you want it, right? Because the staff sergeant will tell the sergeant, hey, there's 2 spots for the meritorious board. See if, do you have anybody in mind that you would like to put up? A hard worker, somebody that's, that does what they're told. Like they're early, they're never late. They're just good dudes, go-getters. You will be submitted for that. You will get talked to by the sergeant. Like, hey, I want to put you up for a meritorious corporal board. Are you up for it? Yes, corporal. Okay, this is what I need you to do. Blah 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 blah. He tells you what you need to do. You will have to run a physical fitness test. Plenty of other things, you know what I'm saying? But meritorious promotions are definitely out there if you really want it. If you really want to get the experience, you want to get ahead of your peers, it's definitely available to you. So after that, it goes too much in detail as to the promotions after sergeant, after corporal sergeant. You start getting fitness reports. You get observed. You have to get schooling done. There's a lot of things you got to do. But all in all, you have to stay in shape. You have to stay in shape. We're very proud of our uniform, so you have to stay in shape. You have to look good in uniform. You have to do your job. Do it well. Always strive for greatness. Strive for perfection. Be a perfectionist at everything you do, and the promotions will come.
Nice.
It's that simple.
Could you explain what the balance is like between keeping up with college and the military?
Okay, so absolutely doable. The balance, keyword, time management. Back in 2020, right? We're supposed to go to Norway in 2020, and she's like, I was a sergeant at the time. It's like, Sergeant, I signed up for college. The staff sergeant Torres already approved it, but we're going to Norway. How's that gonna work out? I'm like, no, don't worry about it. You already signed up for college. We're gonna leave you in the rear. You already have an approval letter. So what you're gonna do, you're just gonna handle college, right? When we went to Norway, she was just handling college. When we came back, obviously there's training to do, right? But guess what? I, as a leader, had the ability to just demand of her in the mornings. Like, look, this is what I need you to do, right? Because it's a team effort. I need you to do this and this, and if you're done by like 10:30, I'm gonna check up on you, and if you're good, go get your college classes done. If it's online, even better. Just go to your room, do your thing, and use college classes, right? Now, if it's off base, community college, by all means. That's why I'm letting you off work early. 100% doable. That is the beauty of being on salary. We don't work by the hour, right? There's a job to do. What do we got to do in order to get it done? I utilize my assets, right? I didn't only have her to do my job, right? If I need something done, I will grab everybody. Okay, what you got going on today? I'm tracking on you. Medical appointment, dental appointment, blah, blah, blah. You got college. Okay, sweet. I will task you out with doing this little thing every morning. And after that, check in with me. If it's well done, you're good. Principles of leadership, right? Take care of your Marines. And that's what we do. If you want to take college is very important to you. Do your job. Do it well. Stay fit. Do what you're supposed to do. And it will come. And time, as long as you manage your time wisely, you can 100% go to college. It's doable. There's plenty of Marines with master's degrees, and obviously you pay $0 for it because good benefit behind that. But it's definitely doable. Definitely doable.
Nice. Okay. What is your message to anyone watching who wants to join?
My message to anyone watching that would like to join is stop hesitating. All it takes is going to Marines.com. That's the easiest way. Go to Marines.com, scroll the way down, request the information. Because I will put myself as an example. I joined when I was 21. Right? I knew I wanted to do the military my whole life. But out of fear for what people might think, what my friends might think, because remember, I was a stud. Right? I have I have this genetic gift that I'm 250 something pounds right here where you see me, but I'm able to do things that the average 250-pound guys can't do. So there was so much expectations out of me as a young teenager that joining the military didn't seem like the greatest idea at that time. My mom was against it, right? And it was like, man. So I never reached out to the recruiter. But the second I turned 21 and I saw my life was going anywhere and I still had that urge to serve, I did exactly just that. Marines.com, boop, submitted my information. That recruiter called me the first thing in the morning next day. And I'm Sergeant Tavares, right? He's already out of the Marine Corps, but I thank him for everything he did for me, you know? We had the talk, we met, we sat down, had an interview. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. And I enlisted, and I went to boot camp. And I haven't looked back ever since. So the only regret, there's only one regret that I have in life, and that is not joining when I was 17, when I had the opportunity to do so. Because God knows how many more friends I would have made, how many more relationships I would have built, how much better my career would be. Never know. But everything happens for a reason. Maybe that happened so I could be put in this position and to tell my story. Don't be scared to talk to the recruiter. Don't be scared. We're not here to be malignant. We're here to help you out. We're not only a recruiter, we're counselors. We want to create a plan for you. Even if you don't want to join the military, that's fine. I want to make sure you're good, because if you have good intentions, I'm going to create that plan for you. I'm going to show you. This is how you apply for FAFSA. This is what you should be doing. Have you talked to your counselor yet? Have you sat down? Because per every counselor, how many students you got? You got a lot, right?
Yeah.
Some of these kids never get a chance to talk to their counselor one-on-one. Guess what we do? Because we care. That's the difference right there, right? I have multiple kids in college right now that don't want to do the military, but I'm in contact with them. I check up with them every 1 month, every 2 months. I'm like, hey man, how's college? How's the science class? Oh, it's here. You know, I'm trying to dedicate time for, you know, to on my side job, like working at Starbucks and all, but it's hard. I know, man. This is what you gotta do. I tell them a little trick about, you know what I'm saying? Just write it down. Do what you gotta do. Talk to mom and dad. Keep your spirits up. If you want to come for a workout, by all means, you know. But it's one of those things that I'm not gonna try to manipulate you into joining, right? If you don't want to be a Marine, if you don't want to join the military, that's fine. I still want to help you out, because at the end of the day, my relationship with you is more valuable. Because in the future, if I have the chance to take care of you, I'm sure you would do the same for me. Mm-hmm. Because a friend is easily one of the most valuable things we have in life.
Yeah.
Friendships last your whole life. I will get out of the Marine Corps eventually. The Marine Corps will be there when I'm gone, but that friend is always going to be there. So you have the chance to meet you, build a relationship with you, whether you join or not. Hey, I'm here for the long run.
Yeah, I've heard that the Marine Corps is actually like the only branch that they won't beg you to join. Like, is that true?
We won't beg you.
Yeah.
We won't, because we know what we have to offer. Benefits, congratulations. The Department of Defense and all the branches will give you the same benefits. But we know what we got. It's priceless. All right. Right now, you have an idea of who you are. Right. Every time I see a young man, I let him know. Right now, I see a boy. And right next to you, there's a shadow of the man you have to be. What are you doing to get there? Would you let me help you? Right. A lot of kids tell me, oh no, I'm good, I'm going to go to college, and they hang up at the phone. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I've taken so many no's. I am fine with that. Because I know for 10 to 15 no's, there's going to be one guy, one motivated individual, just like I was, that's going to be like, sir, I'll dedicate time to you. let me see what you have to offer, because I am looking for the next big thing. I am looking to be the change, right?
Yeah.
So
All right. And you already said where we can find more information on the Marine Corps. Marines.com. And what is your RSS and your Instagram handle?
I am the station commander of recruiting substation, right? RSS, Lake Worth. It's right behind the airport right there. It's a beautiful spot, right? My Instagram handle, it's a long one because everybody's got the same name, so I'm trying to. It's Palm _ Beach _ Marine _ Recruiter. So Palm Beach Recruiter, but you gotta have underscores there. They make it, Instagram and the things.
Yeah, you can't have your own unique name.
No, you can't.
You gotta have an underscore.
And I don't want to just put Station Viguera there. Like every recruiter's got the same Station. I'm just a Palm Beach recruiter. Anybody in the Palm Beach you need help, hit me up. I got you. I'll answer any questions you have. You want to join a different branch? I got you.
Yeah.
All the branches recruiters, they're my friends. I will literally redirect you. I put countless individuals in other branches. Yeah. I'm not an advocate for just the Marine Corps. I'm an advocate for career progression. That is what I'm here to do.
Well, anyone watching that is considering the Marine Corps, I hope that this conversation helped guide you on your decision. Yes or no? Definitely yes. But we will see you on the next episode. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Great to have this conversation and get the word out on the Marine Corps.
Oh yeah. Just come to workouts Tuesdays and Thursdays, 4:30 p.m.